lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. Just remember.
Okay. Well, hopefully we see a lot of good, clean, hard 2 and 3 wide racing here at Daytona. These guys are capable of it. We've got a huge field here, as usual, especially when you're just starting off a season. But these guys are definitely going to be locked and loaded and ready to get the season underway. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can almost get right on that bumper and just, lay flat open the whole way around the track. But if you are off just a little bit, you run the risk of turning the car you're pushing around pretty quickly.
Yeah, and it's really easy to do so, and a lot of times you are stacked, side by side at almost 200 miles an hour. It's really easy to light off the big one here. Let's go ahead, shift gears here, and take a look at today's race information. Obviously, as we said, we're at Daytona tonight. The weather, picture perfect. 71 degrees ambient air temperature, 51% water drain, as Tony Trapasso would say. Partly cloudy, a little bit of a breeze out there. Could help you, could hurt you at 8 miles an hour. And Mike, they should be making all the gobs of horsepower here as we transition into qualifying.
Yeah, definitely. They should have plenty of time on the track here. They're set to go 100 laps. They're just getting started. We see Michael Matta, one of the first guys out on track. Then you switch over to Todd Merkel.
You know, Todd Merkel, there's a guy we discussed in pre-race. You think he has what it takes. He's got the experience. Perhaps the win comes from a veteran here tonight, as Todd Merkel could be one of the guys to watch.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you sit there and you think about it. He literally, it seems like at these racetracks, he'll sit back in the back, and then all of a sudden, towards the end of the race, it's like, hey, where did he come from? As he shows up at the end of the race. I mean, you never know what's going to happen because it is Daytona, but he was my pick, as we were kind of talking about in pre-race there.
Yeah, absolutely is. I think one of the other ones potentially to watch here could be the 77 here, this TRD-powered machine of Joshua Yarbrough. He was a newcomer, I believe, last season, showed out really well and really big at these plate tracks, as he's out there currently turning his qualifying laps right now. So far, everyone getting dialed up to speed here. Continue to watch that 77 get wound up around this 2.5-mile oval facility.
Yeah, definitely. And you're talking the super speedway. These guys want to get out basically almost clear to the wall in their first lap, get as much speed, use as much track as they can as they're going through. And then right when they hit that qualifying lap, when they get those 2 laps that count, get clear down on that yellow and just hold it as tight as they can to that yellow line to try and get the fastest lap that they're able to.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. That's what it's about here. You know, you want to get that car. You got to have a good strategy here. Let me back myself up. Have a good strategy here in qualifying, and you laid that out just like a crew chief. Get that car up to the wall. Let this lower horsepowered, higher revving Romeo R6 engine, if you're in the Fords, get wound up and then bring it down to the bottom, as that's the shortest way around this place, just right where we're watching Justin Lewis run right now. In fact, Justin Lewis in that 7 car, Tony, he has the best time on the board, clocking in at a 49.52. Todd Merkel currently in second, and Joshua Yarbrough, that 77 car I was talking about, now in that 4th place position.
Yeah, definitely. Justin Lewis is the defending champion here, so of this series. So we'll see how he can start defending it momentarily here.
Yeah, it's almost like as soon as you have the opportunity there to get crowned the champion, you almost have to turn around, put the work gloves back on, and go back out there and defend almost immediately. Not too much time to kick back and relax and you know, enjoy it. I mean, that's all a part of NASCAR racing, even in the sim world. You know, as we take a look here, Max Caldwell in that 94. He has been a force to be reckoned with at time in the series. Currently now in that 9th place position in that Chevrolet. As you mentioned before, we see him now transition that Camaro down to the bottom for the money lap here. We'll see how he stacks up.
Yeah, Caldwell was not able to bring home the championship last season, but you know, his teammate was able to. But Caldwell still ran really well. I believe he still finished top 3 in points, so no shame in that.
No, absolutely not. And you know, one thing you can always do is look to improve here. You know, as you get more reps and more time with this series, you know, under your belt, you know, you'd look to take that momentum and you know, just carry it, you know, into this season and so forth. And, you know, like I said at the top of the broadcast, everyone has high expectations. There's a brand new season upon us. Everyone right now has a chance to win the championship when it's all said and done.
Oh, yeah, definitely he does. We'll see what happens here.
He's going to bring that down. Looks like he's going to get that 27 stump. Trevor Dalton there. He's going to currently clock in at that 8th position right now. Still waiting on a couple drivers here to go out and put lap times down. Christopher Melton, Lilith Peters in the 1. Kaiji Cat Motorsports, look for her to be one of the contenders here. Brendan Coyer as well. Brandon Hilton Jr., rookie newcomers here. As I believe that time gets ready to expire on the clock. Get ready to switch the sessions here. And Mike, if you remember, these drivers, they're going to have 2 minutes there to get situated there on pit road. That pace car will pull off. We'll get them racked and stacked and get ready to kick this season off officially here.
It looks like.
So you now see these cars start to grid.
We'll see what's going on here. It looks like they got one too many cars, so I believe they have a heat race basically set up.
Is that what's going on? You're right. I didn't catch that, so that's right. If they have more than 43 cars, we're going to have a heat race, almost like a Friday night shootout style. We'll have some cars transfer in.
Well, we'll see what happens here, because there is, looks like they have it set up to 38 to qualify and go directly to the feature. They have two that are going to transfer from one heat race, and it says 5 laps, but it looks like there's only one driver in the heat race, so they got 39 drivers here. So we'll see what the admins elect to do momentarily.
Yes, absolutely, as we kind of wait this one out here. As I seem to be having some technical difficulties here on my end. Bear with me just for a moment. So I seem to have lost a little bit of control here. Bear with me, folks.
See what's going on.
Yeah, a lot of times it's a bunch of pieces of software that come together to make this all work in unison. And let's try this here. Let's see if that does the trick.
Let's see what they're gonna do here. Looks like they're just letting it sit for now.
Yeah, I believe they're having their pre-race drivers meeting right now.
Yeah, I'd assume they're gonna try and jump it straight to the race session here, but we'll see what happens.
Right, exactly. I think I'm starting to come back here for me.
Still sounds like there's a little bit of a echo there on my mic there, Pat. But
yeah, I'm gonna get that cleaned up a little bit here for you, boss. There we go. That should take care of it.
So that looks like there's one driver.
Yeah, just one
sitting
driver
on pit
sitting there
lane.
behind the pace car.
Yeah, it's just trying to see what they're going to do here momentarily.
Really?
I mean, we do have, Justin Lewis is the defending champion. Lilith Peters did win Rookie of the Year, so we'll see how that all shakes out here this evening. Brandon Hinton is the driver on the sitting here on pit lane at the moment.
On pit lane, right.
Let's see. Hang on one second.
Yeah, for some reason here, Mike, I have lost overlay control here. I can't. Now that could be a byproduct of the kind of being a session stalemate here, perhaps.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Now that I sit here and think about it.
All right.
So we kind of wait to figure out what what the action here is going to be from the league admins, as we still only have one driver sitting there on pit road behind that pace car, and we know there's a bunch of competitors here in competition that are probably chomping at the bit, getting ready to go, or would like to get ready to go, Mike.
Yeah, definitely. Let's well, we got a minute. Let's see here. So they'll start tonight at having their Daytona 500 here. Then they'll jump over and have a race at Michigan on the 2nd. The 9th is going to be Kansas, and then they'll throw in Twin Ring, Motegi, Pocono, Iowa Speedway, Charlotte Motor Speedway, Talladega, Nashville Fairgrounds, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Bristol, and then close out the season in looks like Atlanta for the week 12.
That's a great point bringing up the schedule, Mike. And one of the things that I love the league did is they actually they reached out to all of the competitors, and they, through the league, and kind of pulled the drivers, the audience, if you will, and asked them what tracks they wanted to see in this upcoming season schedule. I thought that was a very unique twist, and I like that move, as that kind of shows how dedicated the league and the admins is to creating a race environment that's ideal for all its competitors.
Yeah, definitely. It makes it where all the drivers feel like their voice is heard, and then it also increases, participation as well. These guys have grown tremendously. I mean, they have almost 40 cars every Monday night, and not to mention they also have races on Tuesday and Wednesday as well. Wednesday they have their trucks, and on Tuesday they're doing something a little bit different this year. They'll have street stocks early in the race, or early in the night, a little bit anyway, and then they'll have late models a little bit later. So they'll have a doubleheader on Tuesday nights. So we'll see how they can do, and what funding they have, so we can get some sponsors right out here and get these guys some broadcasts.
That's a great point. This operates a lot the same way like it does in real life. You can't race without the sponsors and all the men and women, that work behind the scenes and support the cause. So, if you're listening live to the broadcast right now, you'd like to be a part of the SCL, you want to help them out, you certainly reach out to them through their Discord, or heck, reach out to Mike or myself. We'll put you in the right direction. And just like you said, Mike, there's various forms of racing. If next gen, may not be your forte, but you like modifieds, the Gen 4s, the SCL, supports all different forms of racing. And if they got something for everybody, that's a great point.
Yeah, they definitely do. I mean, we're sitting here letting them kind of run through this heat race here. We'll see what happens momentarily. I mean, it says they're still doing their formation lap, but so this guy here, Brandon, elected to jump onto pit lane and wait it out, so we'll see what happens.
Yes, we're kind of in a stalemate there, holding pattern in the action, as we still just got, as you mentioned, Brandon there just sitting on, pit road behind the, behind the pace car there.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. It's first race of the season,
Yep,
it'll be all right.
You got to iron the kinks out. Let's go on board. Let's take a look at the layout of this race car, Mike. You have one single dashboard now. You don't have all the analog gauges like you had in the Gen 6, or the early Gen 6, the Gen 5. You have all this new state-of-the-art telemetry. Now we have a 5-speed sequential shift gearbox. No more 4 speeds of the old. A lot of new modern technology in this race car, and it all starts with the first thing that pops off at you, and that's that dashboard.
Yeah, definitely, it is something a little bit different when you're in there. I mean, the other thing is it's the next gen cars that sequential shifter, so no more right hand taking it off the wheel or anything. You can pretty much sit there and shift pretty quickly without having the time off of the off the steering wheel that you would in a traditional 6-speed.
Yeah, it's pretty unique how that works. No more H pattern inside the race car. Just sit there and blip through the gears. You have a clutch there, you don't have to use it. But Shane Van Gisbergen, at the Chicago Street Course, kind of reminded everybody why you might want to, at least, in the road coursing realm.
Yeah, definitely.
As we see, we're still kind of in looks like a holding pattern here still. And like you mentioned, Mike, it's the first race of the season, probably a little bit of an extended drivers meeting perhaps. And, you never really know how many drivers you're going to get on the turnout side of things, right? You hope to have a lot, but sometimes you got to work dynamically on the fly once you see really, who puts a hauler here in the infield.
Definitely.
See if I can get us a little bit of some clarification here. Let me jump down quickly into
just hang on, Matt. You stay up here. I'll jump down to the officials and see what's going on.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that.
Yep. All right, sounds like they're going to get going in about 2 minutes there, Matt.
All right, they're going to get going in about 2 minutes, and it looks like, I have lost my connection to the session during that stagnant delay there. So let me go ahead, let me get that fixed.
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem that was happening there, Matt. They were people were getting booted for no reason for iRacing having a technical issue, but so they're going to let everybody kind of join back in, and then they'll advance the session and we'll get going.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to restart the session, so we'll be right back momentarily. I believe, Mike, I gotta shut it down and restart the broadcast, correct, or can I just leave it roll?
You should be able just to leave it if you have a full screen commercial or anything like that.
10-4.
Or you can just go to the intro screen.
Let's
and then
do
just
that. That's a great idea, Mike.
That way.
See, that's why you always keep Mike the money around. You never know he's going to come in handy. So we're going to re-roll what you already saw, and we'll fast forward back to the future, and we'll see you guys here again momentarily.
lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember,
Yeah, it looks like it. They waved the green flag. We'll see. Yeah, it looks like everybody's getting set here. We've got we're trying to get this this advance to the race session so we can get these get the field gridded up and we can get going and get this season underway here in the SCL Winston Cup Series here. Yeah, that it it's all right. Yeah, caution. The guy's still on pit road. No, actually, it looks like he jumped out, so he should just have to rejoin. They'll get this session forward. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Listening to the driver chat sometimes.
When you can, I guess. I don't really have that luxury right now anymore, kind of like you do. But I can.
Yeah, here.
I can only imagine.
Here, I got something we can do. Let's see here. Let's see if I can do that. Let's see.
All right,
let's see if we can move him. Move to the broadcast booth. Hey Justin, since we're up here just killing time, now that they're gridding, how's the championship contender or defending champion feeling?
I would like to go green. That'd be fun. This iRacing had a glitch, I guess, so they threw a curve in the whole lobby. I'm sure you noticed that by now. But yeah, we're getting up now, so that's good. But yeah, but this one's going to be interesting. We've had quite a bit of practice. I know me and the group have pretty much tried to tune up our cars for qualifying and or not qualifying, but during practice, and learned some things. It's she's a little free when you really try to give her the beans, up next to a car and stuff like that tonight for some reason. So hopefully we can just not die and make it through this one in one piece. But it should be interesting once we get going. It kind of feels like a rain delay mood, so this is probably going to get wild way too fast and half the field's going to die. We'll just have to see how it goes.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats again on your championship last year, and we'll see what you can do starting off this season here.
Thanks, boys. Have a good one.
Yep.
Thank you. We appreciate it. And now, Mike, as you can see, we got the field locked, ready to rock there.
Yeah, definitely looks like they are set to go here. Let's see if we can. We might have to. Let's see if I can refresh this.
Yeah, is now my my controls here, as far as now they want to stumble and they're lagging behind a little bit.
Hit the reload, the overlay reload button there, Matt, and you should be able to get going.
10-4, thank you.
If not, we might have to change the name, but.
Right, let's see here if that did the trick. Yeah, that still doesn't seem. I got camera control, but I can't get all the fun bells and whistles. I have an idea. Let's do this. We're gonna go here.
There we go.
Trying to work the magic.
All right, bring up the grid there, Matt. Let's see if we can go through it.
Yeah, the grid is not. That's the main problem I'm having here, Mike. I can't get the grid or anything to.
It's good.
You see it.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, I don't. We do this here now. There we go. And we're back just like that. It's magic, Mike, as we can take a look here at the starting lineup as they get to roll off. Take us through that starting lineup.
Yep, Brandon Murray is going to get the pole position with a 49.460. Zach Roethlisberger to his outside. Todd Merkel up in row 2, and then you go back to Adam Love there as well. Eric Schaus and Matthew Meekin make up row 3. Row 4 is Michael Matta and Trevor Dalton. Row 5 is Joshua Yarborough and Mike Peters. Barrett Flo and Maxwell Caldwell bring up row 6. That'll work.
Caldwell out of row 6.
There's an arrow in the bottom of that grid button there, Matt. If you hit that, it'll jump over to the next page.
Yeah, I'm hitting it there, Mike. Let me just do this and do this, and we're trying here, ladies and gentlemen.
It'll work.
There we go. Starting off 15th, Riley Hoots in the number 15 in that 15th place position. 16th belongs to Ronnie Hurst. 17th, Chad Jones in the 75 ride. Gary Mayhew, Super 16. 21st going off here tonight is Isaac Love. He's a rookie. Keep an eye on him. 22nd position, that belongs to Jonathan Casper. 23rd, Ollie Marshall. Josh Hill, 26th, Derek Wagman, rolling off 28th, Mark Bolton, Jeremy Flanagan in the 72s. Let's see if he can get to the front. Josh Jacobs, Sam Woodrow, Roddy Uber-Packer. Not least, Matt Pelletier. Well, Mike, we got the field rack stacked. We got through all the glitches, all the delays. The iRacing lockdown, here at Daytona.
We definitely are. These guys are going to be itching to go here. It's like we've got Brandon Murray going to be down on the inside. It is going to be the first start here of the season, so these guys are going to get take their time. They've got plenty of time to get through this 100 laps here.
It's all about being patient, right, Mike? You got to be there at the end. You can't win it going into turn 1 on lap 1.
Yeah, you definitely cannot.
See, those lights are out on the pace car. Going to wait for him to make that hard turn down to pit road here. It's Brandon Murray, Zach Roethlisberger. That kind of reminds me of Ben Roethlisberger there as they hit the Geico restart zone, waiting for him to stand on the loud pedal, send it through the heavens. And we are green flag racing. Brand new season, new opportunity. I hope everyone's into it live here on SRM as we are now barreling off down into the turns 1 and 2 complex for the first time.
Definitely Brandon Murray is staying there, but Todd Merkel is giving him a heck of a push there. It looks like Adam Lowe is also down there with. Is that Michael Matta?
My side already got a couple cars in the back there going off course there.
Definitely, they're jumping inside outside, trying to either fade to the back or work their way towards the front here. Looks like the 27 is going to slide down there in front of the 77 machine of Joshua Yarborough.
Snake on full display. Oh, we got something going on here towards the back.
Justin Lewis got jumped out of line there, so he'll fade towards the back of the pack. You don't want to lose the draft here, but
there's Justin
it
Lewis.
Definitely can happen.
Yeah, it certainly can happen. We just seen that, Mike, as he got jousted out of line, and you know these drivers all have great situational awareness here. Everyone's sorted right now as we got 2 trains going.
Definitely Roethlisberger leading it, and then you have is that Eric Schaus on the outside there, maybe trying to get that to go.
Mustang up to the front. You can't miss the colors on that race car.
No, he's bright, and usually, as I was saying in the pre-race, usually he's kind of towards the back, just kind of biding his time, making his way through, but not tonight. Tonight he is up front, and he is sitting P3 looking for a little bit more now.
Let's go on, Bob.
Yeah, definitely. It's something that you see see time and time again, especially here at Daytona or Talladega, just how close they can get to the car in front of them. I'm sure by the end of the race, you're going to see the noses right on that rear bumper, just shoving them towards the front. Michael Matta leading that outside row just in front of Matthew McMeekin there in that 41 machine as well.
Yeah, Michael Matta now up 4 spots on the high side of the racetrack. That's just where he likes it. You know, right now you got the front of this piece. 3 Chevrolets are in the top 3. Then you got the way these Fords line up here in this grab package, right?
I think the Fords fit a little bit better, but you know, I'm a Chevy guy at heart, so.
You know, last season here, I kind of went through a transition. I was with the team that ran Fords, and then got picked up by another team, Kajikan Motorsports. That's what the Chevrolets definitely were not the same, in my opinion, at these plate tracks. You kind of had to relearn how to drive the car a little bit. But like you said, you're the Chevrolet diehard fan at heart, and that's what's leading the front of this piece. The Chevrolets putting on both lines at the front.
Still side by side. I think we're going to see a lot of this side by side racing. We'll see what happens as the race wears on, but these guys are starting to figure out where they want to be a little bit here. As you see, the 93 getting basically the rear bumper getting full of Brandon Murray in that 88 machine.
Yeah, Roethlisberger, he's getting up close and personal. Talk about putting your nose in someone else's personal affairs at almost 200 miles an hour. Oh, we got changed for the up front for the lead. It looks like the 16 got put in the sucker hole and does a great job of jumping back down in line. Kind of makes a spot for him to fit in and wastes no time getting all over the back of Zach Roethlisberger.
Yeah, that's the other thing. If you're running here and you get put in that hole, if you don't find a way out pretty quickly, you can go from the front clear to the back and lose that draft pretty quickly. But Matta wasted little time and jumped right in behind Roethlisberger there, and now he is pushing that 93 machine to the front.
Yeah, he certainly is pushing that 93 machine to the front. In fact, he is currently being scored as your leaders. Let's go back. Pull back to the top 10 leaders. 6 place bike, that's what you're going to find. Ronnie Hurst is a rookie this year, and you know what? He's already up 10 positions. Showing he's got what it takes, at least at these plate tracks, to make some noise early.
Yeah, definitely.
He's also up 9 spots since the drop of the green flag, now working lap 9 of 100. You know, I thought maybe Mike would see these guys calm down. But you can see, I mean, they're here to race, they're here to put on a show. That's exactly what they're trying to do right now.
Yeah, they definitely are. They're putting on a show. We got side-by-side battle for the lead, second, third, and then you have like Brandon Murray there that went, dude, I'm done. I don't want to be up here racing with these guys the way they're racing up here. And he'll take the safe exit and drop towards the back of the pack here and then fall in line.
You know, speaking of the back, further back in the pack, on that 18th place position, that's where you're going to find Jeremy Flanagan, a.k.a. Shorty. He's up 9 spots in that Kajikan Motorsports car in 72. Friends, look who's working with him right behind him. Justin he's got on him, and that's right there with you on the racetrack.
Yeah, definitely. As these guys are trying to battle and get towards the front-ish, but seems like they're pretty well stable where they're at. You got Steven Johnson here in that outside lane. Looks like he's just behind that 84 machine.
Yeah, that 84 of Riley Hoots. 6 spots inside the top 10. You see that outside line now, like starting to get some of that energy, and once you get lined up, notice the tail. Fishbowl. And you can see they're starting to prevail right now as Michael Matta goes back to the front in that 16 machine.
Yeah, definitely trying to figure out where they want to be and where they're at on track. Michael Matta up on that high line where he wants to be. He's going to try and stay there. He's got the 41 in front of him, and just as I say that, he drops down to the inside. What do I know?
It happens all the time. So you see now, there, Ronnie Hurts is a little out of sorts there, and you see that movement there, that jostle on the bottom, even though, the 41 there of Matthew McKean isn't necessarily tight in a tight grab package. Edge that outside line and take the 41 side by side. John Force style is coming to the complex. Just as I say that, there they go. 2 Fords utilize the way those front and back bumpers line up, and they surge ahead.
Definitely, and there is caution on the track. Not exactly sure who it's for at the moment. Looks like maybe Brendan Conayor, maybe?
Nonetheless, we are under caution here. First one of the day. Got Mark Bolton here coming down pit road. Go back to the back of the pack here. Not really seeing any damage on these race cars.
Let's see.
Nonetheless, through 14 laps of competition, green flag racing, and then undergoing our first caution sequence of the day here. See if there's anyone that decides to come down pit road, perhaps put some Sunoco Racing fuel in those race cars. Looks like we got a couple takers here. See Mike Peters there in the 95. He's coming down pit road. Derek White in there as well. So it's sitting for about like 12 clicks on back. See the 43 Josh Taylor as well. Loving the paint scheme on that number 8 car. Take a look here at the race coming off of pit road. Mike Peters and company coming off. Clean exit. You don't want to have any accidents as any oopsies on pit road. These cars are all about aero.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Let's see how this all shakes up here with a few guys not hitting pit lane.
Here at Daytona, tires really not so much a premium per se. You're not going to have the cheese grater effect, that you would at, your typical, mile and a half cookie cutter tracks, not your Texas, Not your Texas, not your Atlantas. You know, the old Atlanta really would eat up those tires. You know, these drivers, some of them, depending on how you drive, if you baby that car, you can go 50, 60 laps, no problem on a set of tires. But fuel, that will become important. And take a look there. You know, Ronnie Hurst stayed out, Gary Maydew, Todd Merkel, Trevor Dalton, Michael Matta. He was hot in that first stint there. He's going to restart there in that 5th place position. Then you got Derek Wegman as well, up 20 spots, big mover there. Matthew McKean and Zach Roethlisberger. So you get them re-racked, restacked, get ready to go back green flag racing here one more time.
So only 16 laps in, and already a lot of jumping around there, it looks like.
Yeah, a lot of people slicing and dicing, jumping around. You know, give everyone an opportunity to reach over there, grab their squirt bottle, take a drink. It's got to be a little warm inside that race car. It is Florida after all. That sun is out, it is shining, and the temperature usually often comes up along with it. See there, we pull up the track information and race info one more time. Not too bad, 74 degrees ambient air temperature. But look at that track temperature, 93 degrees. So you know those drivers are feeling a little bit of heat inside that race car.
Yeah, they definitely are. We'll see what they can do once this pace car makes that hard left-hand turn.
Starts out once again. Riley Hurst is going to have the button. Just like any other racetrack, that's a good thing. But here at Daytona and Talladega, that could be a bad thing. Let's see if Todd Merkel, because he may be a sitting duck.
Yeah, you never know. You get those drivers that if they're hooked up correctly, they can make up a lot of time really fast. As you see, some wiggles inside and outside. Michael Matta jumps out from behind the 27 and goes clear to the high line. And see if he can, looks like he decided to slide back in behind Todd Merkel there.
Yeah, that's probably a good decision. And you've seen all those cars kind of jumping out of line. I think that's a byproduct of that bottom line really kind of having to check up. As he got back in first, as he kind of stalled him out just a little bit as he executed a little too well.
Yeah, exactly. You know, when you get that good jump, it's all fine and dandy until the cars get hooked up and make that run. But luckily for Ronnie, he was able to basically block and slow that line down, but that is not the case anymore as the 16 just drives on by.
Michael Matta made it look easy as they got that top shelf for Mama High. Wound out and they are screaming. Oh, look at this. Decided to pull off and bring it back to the bottom. Smoke in the back of the field there. Some tire smoke, perhaps a little door beating and banging going on at just over 200 miles an hour as we stay green.
Definitely. If you've got a sec, Matt, turn the cars down just a little bit. they're inside outside, but that outside lane has starting to pull away here. Michael Matta leading it, Gary Madu second, Riley Hoots and Zach Roethlisberger back in fourth.
Beautiful sound of these cars screaming at 9,000 RPM. Perhaps sometimes a little too carried away with the sound. So now oh, we got problems, Mike. Big time wreck going on just in back of the wheels. Caution flag here. See the pace car come up, get loaded up here. Check up on the top shelf. Probably wasn't the plan, but that's what happened there. A lot of big names got impacted in that one.
Yeah, definitely. It looked like it just slowed up just a little bit. And that's just kind of what happens.
Throughout the course of this 100-lap race. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, they are currently under caution. We're going to go ahead and pay some bills. Stay right here. You're not going to miss anything as we go.
Turn that back up if you can. Yeah, it still seems quiet. Oh. Yeah. Okay, I hear him now. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's still a little quiet, but it should be fine. I don't know, my trading paints is being stupid, so like half the cars aren't showing the right number or anything. Yeah, not like half of them are just freaking white. Yeah.
And race fans, welcome back live to the SCL here from Daytona. I'm Matt Metler. He is Mike DeMoney. And Mike, so far it's been 24 laps of everything it should be when you think of high bank plate racing here in the SCL Cup Series.
Definitely. These guys have been pretty much all over the track trying to drive as best they could, inside, outside. You know, jumping from the high line to the low line. You know, everything you'd expect to see. We'll see what happens as these guys get ready to finish the last 3/4 of the race.
Yeah, I agree. Last 3/4 of the race here, and that's usually when the intensity continues to pick up, and up. And as you know, as the laps wind down, the intensity, the animosity, you know, all the impacts, everything that happens to the driver over the course of the race, that's when it all comes to a head in a pinnacle. And that's what usually leads to these wild and insane finishes that can only really be seen at a place, at Daytona or Talladega. There's a little bit of a discombobulation there. It looked between like the 72 there, Jeremy Flanagan. Is he almost, I think he actually gave the 34 there a little bit of a love tap.
Yeah, it looked like they're trying to get close and stack up the way that they want to get this restart going here as they head towards the front stretch here.
Yes, that pace car is going to pull off there one more time. Green flag back in the air, back to green flag racing, and that top side line, and Michael Matta was ready for that restart. And just as I say that bottom groove being led by Trevor Dalton, Chad Jones, they're trying to get it formed up as well, but clearly the advantage to the high side on that restart.
Yeah, high side was set and ready, and he took advantage there as Matta and Dalton have that high line moving pretty well here.
Yeah, they do. And you talk about moving pretty well. You ask why? Well, that's because the 27 of Dalton is like jaws locked onto the back of Matt ZL1 Camaro. You can see him poking his nose out, trying to get some air to the front of that race car. Almost thought about maybe perhaps going down and picking up to the bottom as Matta spots it. Now, they can't fit there. The 27 gets shot out of a cannon. Oh, that's going to be, we stay green.
Yeah, that'll happen when you slide down and basically slide off the racing surface.
Yeah,
Tough
Trevor.
luck there, but that's kind of the way it works.
Yeah, tough luck. Look at the front of Trevor Dalton's race car. I mean, if we go back and, you know, take a look at what happened here. We may have went back perhaps a little bit too far. Let's try this again. Well, Mike, sometimes, you know, it's the first race of the season, and we've had a couple corks along the way, and sometimes, you know, got to get with that replay guy. But at 27, definitely took a brunt of the hit there. As you can see, major damage to that race car. Hopefully he still has a fast repair left, as we're still green flag racing out here at Daytona. There just wasn't enough room for him to fit down there, and you've seen what the end result was.
Yeah, definitely. Now we're back here racing once again. You have Mata and Madu battling side by side. And then you have Riley Hoots and looks like Chad Jones there as well in row 2.
Yeah, Chad Jones in the 75 ride. He's been up front, 13 positions to the good so far, that driver of the Chevrolet. And it almost seems like with these next-gen cars, if you're going to have an incident, typically you went towards the back to try to avoid the big one. But with this next-gen car, you can have the big one happen virtually anywhere, and a lot of times it's been happening right at the front of the field, just like we just seen. As we see the 27 there, he had a fast repair in his pocket. He's going to get way, way out of the way. Does not want to Kevin LePage the field at, as these guys now over 200 miles an hour as they're coming into the turns 3 and 4 complex here. Chad Jones continues to lead in the 75 ride in that Chevrolet. A Ford of Gary Maydew in the outside train as he's getting a big shove there from Mata, as he's really putting on a show here early.
Yeah, Mata is has been inside, outside, pushing, leading, pretty much everywhere you can be up front here. We'll see if he's content to stay behind Madu here, or if he's going to try and jump down to that inside lane and make a run back towards the lead.
Hey, you know who else who's starting to put on a charge? Check out that 72 car, Jeremy Flanagan, a.k.a. Zorko. He is up 23 spots in that 5th place position in on the high side. Hey, the nighttime is the right time, and Jeremy Flanagan knows how to show it in prime time. I told you that 72 could be one to watch, and there he is right up there towards the front of this piece. Kaiju Cat Motorsports driver, of course. Let's see if he can keep that car up there.
Yeah, definitely. He's trying to make his way up there. You got Peter Shepard up there as well. You know, 27, 28 spots. These guys have basically taken their pit strategy and put it to work here. As you see Tard Merkel go from the outside down to the inside in that number 2 machine.
Yeah, Todd's had a really strong race here, as you know, well so far. He got shuffled back there a little bit on that restart. I thought maybe he would hang out towards the back. Nope, Merkel's taken that Merkel Engines Ford Mustang back to the point, and he's really making up some good ground there on the bottom shelf.
You'll see what lane decides to prevail here. Is, you know, you have Mata going high and then jump down low. You have Adam Lowe up there as well.
Yeah, Adam Lowe, there's a driver we really haven't talked about too much all race long, but there he is, you know, just doing what he needs to do, having great situational awareness, was able to keep himself out of those 2 incidences that we've had so far through 33 laps of competition, has all the fenders on that race car, and he is right in the thick of this piece. Just all part of the keys to success to winning here at Daytona. We start to get a little racy back up front. We start to see him doing the jig there. The whirve and swerve. Uh-oh, Merkel almost got put there in the middle. Big check up there with Eric Schultz in that 38 Ford. Did a great job of getting himself out of a bad situation. Is now, almost 3 wide here back around Mark Bolton. Still 3 wide.
Still.
Dry oval. You know, usually that's...
Austin.
Go ahead.
I want to say Austin Call staying down there on that yellow line as best as he can, and looks like getting a little loose there coming through 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's newcomer Ollie Marston in that 3 car there, who is perfectly fine with going 3 wide. I'm not sure if, you know, some of the other drivers that are probably back in the pack right now trying to avoid that kind of behavior, if you will. But, I mean, Ollie's showing the 3 wide does not bother the driver of that ZL1 Camaro.
Yeah, 3 wide it definitely does not, as it looks like we have another
caution
out on track.
Lap 35 caution flag comes back out.
Looks like Yarborough.
And if you go back here to the SRM instant replay, take a look here. Let's see if we can find out what happened. Try this one more time. And maybe a 3rd time's the charm here. We know the caution flag's in the air. That we know. But then once again, as Mike Peter mentioned before in the pre-race show, sometimes you're just going to have to get lucky, and so far that's what it's been here at Daytona, just being at the right place at the right time as we are under caution here once again. As we go back up to the point, all these cars back down to single file here as they catch back up with the pace car.
It's like about half the field coming to pit lane, maybe a little over.
Yeah, as you said, Mike, about half the field coming down pit road there. everyone's going to file back up behind that pace car. Zach Roethlisberger, he's P1 right now. P2, Zarek Wagman. Riley Hoots in that third place, and third in that 84 ride. 44 ride that belongs to the fourth place position, up 9 spots. Nick Johnston. Matthew McKean currently in 5th. 6 belongs to, I believe, Ronnie Hurst in that 22 machine. 8th, Jeremy Flanagan. 9th, Justin Lewis. In top 10 right now, that is going to be Mark Brown. As we wait for those lights to go out on the pace car, we re-rack them, restack them, get ready to go here one more time. You know what?
Closer to that, what? Closer to that halfway mark. We got Roethlisberger, Wagman up front. We got a few guys that pulled out and faded towards the back of the field. Doesn't look like we really have anybody out of the race at the moment, but we'll see what happens coming here through the last. Looks like Trevor Dalton's the only one that's... Trevor Dalton, Lowell Peters are a couple laps down, it looks like.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I know both those drivers had, high expectations, but it's not over till it's over. And Mike, you know that, we know that, and these drivers certainly know that. And if there's still time left on the board and you still have a race car, you can drive out there at speed. Anything and everything can happen. As we wait the green flag here, as those lights out on the pace car, as you mentioned. This field racked, stacked, ready to go one more time.
Pace car makes that left-hand turn. Roethlisberger will lead them down here. Hits the end of that restart zone, and he is down and away, off like a shot, and leaves, it's like Wagman, kind of back there in a lurch.
Yeah, I agree. He took off like he was fired off out of a cannon there in that 93 machine, but that's exactly what happens. You fire off too good. And here comes some Dr. Pepper action to the front as he had enough steam built up to overtake the leader as he got a great push from the top sideline. And here comes Riley Hoots in that 84 car. He's now the leader in the great restart as Zach Mikey flat out did a little bit too good of a job.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. I mean, you get up there and you start jumping, getting out in front, and
big time
right
problems.
Todd Merkel, Steven Johnson, it looks like.
Yeah, you mentioned there Todd Merkel right in front of Todd. You think he's going to be okay. But once again here, big time action just behind the leaders. Go back to the instant replay here. Take a look, see what happened. Oh, yeah, looks like just came down, clipped the race car. That's going to send the 44 around as we go to the eye to the sky.
Yeah, it looks like two cars just kind of going to the same place. It looks like Todd had a little bit of a run, went down to the middle lane just at the same time that the car on the inside lane was coming up. So
yeah, I know this is kind of a replay no-no here, but just so we can take a look and watch that one more time, you're exactly right. And that is a lot of times where the fuse gets lit is not where the bomb goes off. Well, that time it kind of did. So Nick Johnston there is going to have a tough go here. Hopefully he has another fast repair left. As we go back live now, almost through 40 laps of competition. Ooh, a little trickery there. Mike faked. Think he faked him out?
maybe. You never know. I mean, you don't really need tires here, but fuel's always needed.
Yeah, fuel is always needed and oftentimes a premium. You know what? Why not have a little fun out there under caution, right? I mean, if you can fake someone out, get them to go on pit road, why not? You can see Mike Peters there on pit road in the 95 ride. He's the driver there that knows how to get this done, Mike. I mean, Peters, he's been in the series a long time. Certainly a veteran of the sport, races in real life. And he likes that stealth factor. He doesn't like to be on the radar. He just likes to be methodical. And that's kind of the race he's running right now, a very textbook Mike Peters race. As he's currently being scored right now in that 20th position. But we still have more than half this race to go as we are now barely working lap 40.
Yeah, we are barely doing that, and that is definitely the case here. Awesome.
See Jeremy Flanagan there in the 72, currently being showed just inside the top 10 there, having a great run. Gary Maydew there in that 063 car, he was firing all kinds of fireworks off up near the front, and he's got his partner in crime there, Michael Matta, being scored in that 12th place position. Wonder how long it takes them to get back towards the front, or perhaps maybe a little strategy here, as I know they're kind of keeping pace with Todd Merkel as far as where they are on the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of want to, I don't know, I'll say you kind of want to be around people that you know run really well at these tracks, kind of follow their strategy just a little bit, see what's going on, see how they're able to do that.
You know, you hit the nail right on the head there. That's what I started doing. You know what, I made a jump and decided, hey, I want to compete and race in some of these leagues. Boy, I wasn't ready for the competition. I'm just going to be, frank with you, Mike. And I quickly had to figure out at these plate races, who do I dare try to latch onto and just hold on for dear life behind? Todd Merkel, definitely one of those drivers. So believe me, a couple seasons ago, that was me just taking someone that I felt like knew how to get around these racetracks, knew how to manage the race, and I would just try and mimic and mirror what they did and hope for a great end result. Lights now go out on the pace car. Hoots, he's been giving him a hoot here, as he was magical on that last restart and able to get the lead from the 93 of Roethlisberger there. But let's see if the 84 here legs back a little bit, make sure he has the 39 of Wegman with him, or let's see if he decides to shoot out of the cannon, like we've seen on the past couple of the restarts. And, as we've seen, Mike, that's kind of a sit and duck move because of the run these cars get coming from behind.
Yeah, definitely. The best thing you can do is almost, I want to say not drag the brake, but kind of slow down just enough to get that car behind you and kind of give them a little like telltale sign that you're going to take off, so they stay right with you, because you get a two-car tandem and it's a lot harder to catch than that single car that just gets out to a start. Riley Hoots gets to the restart zone and he is down and away. Gets a pretty good start. That outside lane, though, is hooked up pretty well, but he'll slide up in front of the 93 of Roethlisberger there and try and take advantage.
Yeah, Hoots put on a slider right up to the top shelf, saw the momentum coming from the 93 of Roethlisberger, and said, thank you, I'm going to roll with you guys here at the top shelf. Got to drive out your rear view mirror a lot in this plate race, and I know we say a lot of times that's not a good thing. Here it's kind of a requirement. Here comes the bottom line. They're getting stacked up now, being led by Eric Schultz on that bottom shelf. Big move.
Yeah, and then the 3 of Ollie Marston jumps down there as well, so you have 3 or 4 cars. As long as they can hold that wheel steady, they'll be able to make a run here, and it looks like Roethlisberger drops down to the inside as Hoots goes 3 wide and winds up high by himself in that 3 wide lane.
Yeah, as Dave Regal would say, this is the diamond formation, or we had that, and that is not a good thing. As we see the 7 of Justin Lewis, he got caught in the black hole there and is fallen back off of a cliff. But you know what? That's a smart move. Don't cause yourself any carnage. Don't uncork the big one and live to fight another day. Great heads-up move there by the driver of the 7, Justin Lewis.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you see at plate tracks, you can get out of line, you can get in the sucker hole and get shuffled back quite a ways. But as soon as you catch that draft, usually you're going to be one of the faster cars because you have that draft just sucking you right towards the front as these guys are basically all over the track, 3, 4, 5 wide there.
Yeah, they are smothered and covered like Waffle House hash browns right now, as Tony would say. And, you know, some of these guys just have nerves of steel. Oh, that could have been disaster there as the 64 almost hooked the 84. And here comes Mata up the gut.
Yeah, you just saw the 64 bumping the 84 of Hoots there. And Horton in that 64 almost bumped him the wrong time, and that could have been a disaster waiting to happen there. As who is that in front there? Looks like almost hit the wall and bounced back in the 52 machine there.
Yeah, Chris Melton there almost got a piece of the action there. Oh, they're, you know, Mike, they're really starting to dip, dive, and dodge, in the words of the Dodgeball movie. And that's, you know, I don't know if it might be a little too soon for that, because typically that's where it all goes bad. We almost had that happen there, but these drivers able to get it corrected. But you can really see the intensity starting to pick up there on the racetrack already as we approach the halfway point. Now working lap 46 of 100 scheduled laps.
Yeah, definitely. These guys are almost pushing the limit just a little bit, but they seem to be skilled enough to handle it for the moment. But you can just kind of see, I call it like the accordion effect, as these guys start bouncing up and down the racetrack as they're driving down the straightaways. If they're able to hold that wheel a little more steady, you won't have that, because everybody's trying to stay in line with the car behind them. And what happens if you don't is you wind up in that sucker hole after you getting pushed off, and right there that outside lane just drives away.
Yeah, as you mentioned, that outside lane is checked out. It went to church and took the congregation with him on the high side of the racetrack. No surprise who's leading the top shelf line. Zach Roethlisberger. I mean, he has been the man with a plan here as of late in this race. You know, the last 20 laps or so, Mike, he has really come on. You know, he's had a lot of help from Brandon Murray right behind him in that number 88 ZL1 Camaro as well.
Yeah, he definitely has, as Michael Mata jumps out from behind Riley Hoots there and gets in that high line. Hoots was kind of left off all by himself, but now the 3 of Ollie Marston gets behind him, and they'll see if that 2-car tandem is going to turn into 3. Well, as I say that, Hoots jumps up to the high line.
Mike, it's almost like sometimes these drivers are listening to the broadcast while they're driving, and they do that just to mess with us up here in the booth. But you know what? I look at it this way. I know they're paying attention. I know they're cheering us on. And hey, you got to have some fun. Why not mess with the broadcast crew when you can, right?
Definitely, as now you have Justin Lewis on that low line trying to make it work. Looks like he's side by side with Hoots. Almost got to Flanagan, but that outside line just keeps driving away. filed out now through most of the top 10.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mike. Single file, I think, almost till you get to, even in back of Jeremy Flanagan there. Chad Jones in the 75. He's currently in that 11th place position, and that's where you see the two-car tango, or I should say the two trains. Oh, now we got three wide action. Mike Peters there on the bottom. He's probably not liking this.
Definitely not. He is hooked up and getting pushed there, and did not like seeing that 756 there to his, or 786.
Is there back? Well, guess what? Mike Peters 3 wide again. He's probably sitting there going, what do I got to do to get out of this 3 wide situation? But I'll tell you what. I mean, some of these drivers, they really know how to utilize the side draft off the high side and the low side, and they can hang right there with you, as we see Mike Peters now making a move to the top shelf of the racetrack.
These guys are inside outside quicker than anything, as you got that 38 machine going to the bottom.
Yeah,
Justin Lewis just in front there as well.
Yeah, Justin Lewis in the 7. He's getting it done out there on the racetrack, up 7 spots from where he started, well inside the top 10. And this is right back to where we see that the two trains form back up, as you got a lane on the high side ripping the bottom, and then you got a group of cars got it really wound up on the high side of the racetrack. And Mike, if you run that top shelf, it's significantly longer around this racetrack, as if you're glued to that double yellow line. So you got to have more momentum on the tie side if you want to hang with these cars on the bottom. The question is, are we going to see, these runs go long enough where we're going to see that really develop and be the preferred line, like we're seeing right now, actually?
Yeah, it seems like everybody's a little bit more comfortable running that high line. And if you're in the high line, you don't quite have real input as you do if you're hanging up on that, on the low side. You have to, obviously turn the wheel more because the corners are sharper, and you don't. So, I mean, you can get the momentum, make it work, as long as you guys stick together and, you're not bouncing around quite so much.
That's a great point, Mike. Well said. Is now we've passed that halfway point, 53 laps into this piece out of 100, and just like that, we said it earlier, you're able to get a lane formed up, and whoa! I was just gonna say that bottom line's caught right back up with the predominant line on the top, and look at Riley Hoots at the front, working the high side, the low side. He is doing everything he can to keep clean air on the front of that 84.
Yeah, he definitely is. Justin Lewis gets behind him, jumps out to the high side, and see if he's going to be able to get pushed by Roethlisberger there to the front. And it looks like he's going to lead for the moment as they come down that backstretch.
Yeah, Roethlisberger in the 93. He is working with the 88. That's Brandon Murray. Just in front of him, Justin Lewis decided it was time. He was going to hit the afterburner and takes it to the point. He's in charge of carrying the torch around this 2.5-mile super speedway here in Daytona Beach, Florida. You see that
back out front,
just straight rocking.
Got into an accident there as Case Bear and Brennan Funnygar.
Yeah, I think that was probably a Code Brown moment of epic proportion for the driver of the 72 Chevrolet Camaro. Flanagan almost got peppered. And you can see him now try and back off just a little bit as he's going towards the back now.
Yep. Caution got brought out after that incident.
Yeah, caution now on the racetrack. Let's go back to a little SRM instant replay action here. You can see Flanagan up there on the high side. And Mike, you know, I see it got a little tight up there. And certainly some cars, you know, with some near misses. But I guess race control thought that, you know, perhaps necessary to throw a caution flag there.
See who all comes down pit lane. I'd imagine almost everybody. 'Cause they're gonna hope that this is gonna be one of their last ones here.
Yeah, Justin Lewis leading the charge down pit road. This could potentially be the money stop. See if we see anyone just take fuel only here, trying to get some great track position. You know, that's certainly an option here. So you take a look at that race coming off of pit road here. There we go. You see Justin Lewis there, the 93. Zach Roethlisberger, he was a big part of the action up front. A lot of those drivers right there in this group of cars. Riley Hoots. You know, all these drivers at the front of this piece. But if we go back to the front of this field now, well, we got some different names up there, Mike, that we really haven't had a chance to speak a lot about. You got Mark Bolton, not to be confused with Michael Bolton, and Adam Lowe himself in the 58.
Adam Lowe elected not to take a pit stop, got back up to P2 now. Michael Matta did pit, so he's the first car off of pit road.
Peter Shepard.
And Peter's
look
out there
who,
as well.
I was just going to say, look who's creeping into the picture when the laps are winding down. LP, last season's Rookie of the Year. And she has really came onto this league and shooken it up, taking it by storm. And Mike, I believe she was a lap or two down early, but, you know, her and her team, they have done what they have needed to do and got that Foxfire Foods Chevrolet in position to contend, up 31 spots. In fact, all these drivers inside the top three, you know, Bolton, he's up 26 spots. Shepard, 33. Lilith Peters, 31. It's all about strategy and how you play the cards. And right now, I mean, I love the call by some of these drivers that stayed out here, getting that much-needed track position. You want to find out just how important that clean air is. Let's see if they can hold and maintain up here at the front.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, these guys that are up, 26, 30, 26 or more, basically didn't get a qualifying lap. So they really didn't know what they had, or they knew that they didn't have the car for, qualifying. So they took their chances, made a pit strategy call, got up front. So we'll see if this fresh air is going to help them, or if the track position is going to help them,
and that's
or if it's all going to be short-lived.
You bring up a great point there, Mike. You talk about qualifying, and this is a track here, you can throw Talladega into the argument, where some drivers and teams, they are perfectly set with starting in the back. They don't even worry about qualifying at all. It's all about race trim and then how they're going to move the chess pieces, stay ahead of the race, to put themselves into position when we start to get into the later stages, kind of like we are now. And here we are with a brand new face at the front of the field, 58 laps in.
Definitely so. We'll see what will happen here with the new leaders trying to get a good restart. Pace car will make that left-hand turn. Mark Bolton will lead him to the restart zone. Gets about halfway through, and he is down and away. Lilith Peters right behind him. And it looks like the 786 slid down almost immediately.
Yeah, the 786 said, I don't think so. I'm plugging that hole. Oh, look at what's going on the top shelf, beating and banging. There is Gary Maydew wasting no time getting his car synced up with his buddy Michael Matta in that. Oh, that's Brandon Murray. I'm sorry. Michael Matta also making the charge back towards the front as well. But Michael Bolton, I said Michael Bolton. I'm sorry. Mark Bolton does a great job on that restart. And how the heck did they get that far out in front? Oh, there's a caution. That's how.
Yep, caution out, and Maxwell Caldwell is involved.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look here. Jump to the SRM instant replay. So I had a moment there up in the broadcast booth. I said not to call him Michael Bolton, and I called him Michael Bolton. Probably time to change that CD out in my CD changer as well. Let's go back to the replay here, see if we can figure out what happened. And let's see if we can try this again. Still under caution there. And sometimes things just don't want to cooperate how we would like them to, Mike, as you know. But let's try. This is the point in time when the yellow flag came out, so this is going back to the green flag. Sometimes, you know, when you have this many cars on the racetrack, like, things can just evade you, get away from you a little bit. And I know it said on my end yellow flag, but that clearly was a green flag. As we go back here to live action, more drivers coming down pit road, including your leader, Mike, or, oh, you know what? I'm done saying his name tonight.
Yeah, Bolton coming down.
Thank you.
But it looked like that last caution was brought out by the 55. Looked like he probably missed a shift and caused that commotion there. We do have a penalty issued from
race control. Yeah, thank you for that, Mike. Because now we got to do this again. Re-rack them, restack them here one more time. And DeMoney, guess who's back at the front? Michael Matta and his wingman, Gary Maydew. 1-2 nose to tail once again. We know these drivers had they had the power to sustain the lead or stay up with this lead pack in the early going. You know, and I can only imagine now that they're right back here behind the pace car at the front, they're probably not going to be easy to get around.
Yeah, no, I don't believe they are. Matt has been hanging on there quite a bit, hanging out front. We'll see if he has anything for the field right now. We'll see if anybody tries to go with him. I know Matta and Lewis have raced each other a ton of times here. We'll see if they work together or if they decide not to.
Well, that's one of the great parts about racing, right? I mean, you want to make friends and have alliances out there on the racetrack, especially at a plate track. But at one magical point in time, and every race it's different, that all goes away. The eyes go red, you grit your teeth, and it's every man for himself out there on the racetrack. Right now, 62 laps being currently scored on the board. They're probably still going to work together a little bit, but, in my opinion, 10 laps to go. The gloves come off, and it is all-out trench warfare until that checkered flag flies.
Yeah, if you're down on the inside row here, you got to know that outside row is going to go because you have Matta, Lewis, and you have Riley Hoots there, also in that outside row. I mean, they've been running pretty well. They've been hanging out towards the front, and I don't think anything's going to change momentarily.
I don't think so either, and I mean, now Justin Lewis in the 7, he's back in the equation as well, up 11 spots, back to that third place position. And that's one of the cars, Mike, that really seems to be able to, almost like Dale Jr. back in the early 2000s, when he wants to go to the front, that 7 car goes to the front, and now he's right up here. You got, like you said, fast cars on the top shelf of the racetrack. These guys on the low side, they have to be ready for it. The last thing Maydew wants to do here is jump out and gap himself and be a sitting duck to let Matta and company charge by on the high side. But, from the looks of this race so far, Maydew seems to know what he's doing out there and has done one heck of a job behind the wheel thus far.
Yeah, definitely. He's probably going to try and back up just a little bit and get a little help there from Brandon Murray there. But Matta wastes no time, and he is down and away, almost a car length and a half in front of Justin Lewis. So that inside lane is
here we go.
Lewis jumped down to the inside, and he is going to go.
But now look at the massive surge that's going to come from the top shelf as that springboard accordion effect. Because of the way that Matta stacked them up, Lewis went down to the bottom. He's seen that energy come and took it back to the high side. And now here comes the new trio on the bottom, being led by Zach Roethlisberger in the 93. All right, take that back. Justin Lewis is with him as well on the bottom. And the 88, Brandon Murray right there as well. It's 2x2, side by side. It's a Noah's Ark situation coming through the Geico restart zone as Gary Maydew leads that lap.
Yeah, Maydew and Lewis bouncing inside outside, trying to find a way to go. And now that outside lane got a little shook up there. And Justin Lewis and Brandon Murray are starting to make that bottom line work.
Yeah, look at the push. The 88 is given to the back of the 063. Oh, 3 wide at the front. Oh, nobody likes Justin Lewis as we have contact and we uncorked the big one. Oh, massive carnage out there on the racetrack. Caution definitely going to come out. You can see that Justin... Go ahead.
Caution is definitely out. Justin Lewis got put in that sucker hole, and the 063 of Gary Maydew kind of slid down in front of him.
See if we can get this replay right here. I mean, that was big time contact there. Well, as you can see there, caution definitely out on the racetrack. Everyone might coming down pit road one more time, and why not top those fuel cells off on all the go fast, get to the end, have a little left over in the tank for an overtime situation if necessary. And if things keep heating up like this, that could certainly come into play.
Yeah, it definitely can as we're getting closer here.
Yeah, more cars coming off of pit road here. And while they're getting service done on their race cars, we're going to step away, pay some bills, but don't worry, you're not going to miss anything as we go all out coverage through the entirety of their season opener live from Daytona.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I don't know what's going on with the sound on YouTube. It's like yeah, it's the like when we're under caution like this, it's fine, or when we're on commercial break, it's fine. But when you go back, it I don't think my mic's muted. I don't know. Might have to look at it later, Matt. Yeah, I hear you fine. I just I can hear myself on YouTube. Yep. Oh, sorry.
And race fans, welcome back live to Daytona SCL season opener. And Mike, it's been everything you could ask for through 69 laps of competition as we're here to close out the final 30 laps back under green flag. And Brandon Murray once again leading the way.
Yeah, Brandon Murray is trying to lead him basically start to finish here. Caution is out once again. See what looks like Jeremy Flanagan, maybe? Adam Lowe?
Yeah, we'll take a look at that here. Oh, yeah, definitely Jeremy Flanagan off track here. You know, replay's been giving us a little bit of a headache here tonight, so let's just go ahead and back this up. Well, that's not right. There we go. Let's try this one more time. Yeah. You know what, Mike? Some nights you're just not, so I guess you're not supposed to get replays on certain times when, you know, certain things happen out there on the racetrack. It's the first night of the week, or first race of the season, first night of the week. We'll get those kinks ironed out. But one thing for certain, Jeremy Flanagan definitely going to have to use a pit repair there after that collision. Let's take a look at the 72 there on pit road. You can see that fast repair has been used. That 72 car looking like it's got showroom new condition shine on that ride. As the field continues here to come by, more cars going to come on down pit road here. Mike, you think this is... Yeah, Matt Meekin there.
Is that Matt?
Yep, there he is in the 41. He's in for service on his race car. Not seeing the jack go up there, so that tells me it's a Sunoco Racing fuel stop. Only top off that fuel cell is now 71 laps being scored on the board, and the other drivers can probably feel what we're starting to feel in, and that's the end of the race and the intensity really starting to pick up, Mike. And as a result, overtime probably starting to lurk in the heads of some of these drivers, perhaps. The best way to be prepared for it, keep as much fuel as you can packed in the fuel cell.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you want to be prepared for that, but the way these guys are driving, everybody's bouncing inside outside trying to get as much track position as they can, racing side by side for as many laps as these guys have. It's got a little bit of a racing deal happen and here and there, and you wind up under caution. But we'll see how this race finishes and what we anticipate to be a great finish here.
Yeah, absolutely going to be a great finish. You know we expect it, and that's what the SCL always does. Puts on great finishes here as we're getting ready for another classic one. Want to thank everyone for jumping on board with us live here on SRM. If you're new to the family, you want to join it, easiest way to do so, smash the like button, ring the bell, come home to 7 days of high-flying, high-octane eSIM racing action on your eSIM Racing Leaders Network right here on SRM. I'm Matt Metler. He's Mike the Money once again. Want to thank everybody for jumping on board with us tonight as the SCL kicks off a brand new season here in prime time. Brandon Murray currently is your leader. Zach Roethlisberger is in second. Derek Wegman third. Eric Schultz coming home in fourth right now. Barrett Flo in fifth. Adam Lowe currently resides in that sixth place position. Michael Maddow, look for him to come back towards the front. He's been fast. He's in seventh. Jonathan Casper in that eighth place position. Michael Matta in 9th, and Ollie Marston, the rookie, in 10th.
Isaac Love, Josh Tarek Hill in 11th, Mark Bolton back there in 12th, Gary Madu faded back to 13th after being involved in that incident. Justin Lewis hanging out in P14. Top 15 is Peter Shepard there. So we get set to go as I come down the backstretch, head to turn 3. Brandon Murray lead him to green once again.
Yeah, Brandon Murray going to lead him down to green once again here. You got the 88 on the inside, the 93 of Roethlisberger on the outside. Some faces we've seen before at the front throughout this race are back. Some new faces, you got that as well. Very typical of Daytona. You see Adam Lowe there in the 58 machine. He hasn't been up this high since, I think, the drop of the green flag as he started in that 6th place position. Keep an eye on him as well. Pace car is going to pull off, almost drifts down pit road. So we hit that Geico restart zone one more time. Can Brandon Murray get a good restart here? Can he get the help? And he does. As he's going to shoot out, come up to the high side of the racetrack. Is that 93 and Michael Matt are going to be on that high side as well. We see some cars jostling. Here comes Adam Lowe now in that 58. Drives it down to the bottom. Now is he going to take it 3 wide and go up the gut?
Yeah, Adam Lowe pulls into the middle. Barrett Flo follows him as well. Barrett Flo, Adam Lowe hooked up once again, and they are moving towards the front. You got Brandon Murray and Zach Roethlisberger on the high side with, looks like, Derek Wagman up there as well.
Yeah, Derek Wagman up 20 spots now in that 6th place position. That 39 car is coming on strong here near the end. Well, Mike, you talked about it. Comers and goers. The comers know when to go to the front at the right time, and we're starting to see some of those faces that started up here make their return back to the front, like Adam Lowe. Derek Wagman is now approaching lap 75 of lap 100.
Yeah, Barrett Flo, one of the guys that usually hangs around towards the back, and then all of a sudden you'll see him up towards the front. He's done it a few times. When I first started calling this league, it was in the street stocks, and he always seemed to find his way towards the front. But Lowe and Flo are working well together on that bottom side. We'll see how long they stay together.
That kind of rhymes, Lowe and Flo. And they're being very fluid together out there on the racetrack, aren't they, Mike?
They definitely are. It's almost like they know what move they're going to make before the other one does. But Adam Lowe jumps up to the high side, going to kind of block that high lane and see if Flo can get a little help here from the 38 of Eric Schaus to get a little push there. The 16 of Michael Matta was thinking about dropping down to the inside, but that line just went away pretty quick.
Yeah, that just, it disappeared within the blink of an eye. Oh, there's the 60 getting a little squirrely there. Mark Bolton there. He almost got in, I believe, that Jonathan Casper there in the 6. He's able to get that car back underneath him there as he's working the bottom groove, currently in that 10th place position.
And you can see just how fast, if you're not hooked up in that bottom lane, how fast you go backwards. I mean, Flo was up there side by side with second, third, and then now he's back to fifth.
Yeah, you really had to have your game face on and make sure that you got the draft hooked up and you are, you got that car centered and squared up, as best you possibly can at, speeds of almost 200 miles an hour, because you're right. Yeah, that, just like we're seeing right now, that bottom line got a little disorganized, and look at the surge of energy. Adam Lowe in that top line has certainly just waxed, is now the belief that the first car now on the inside line has fallen back to that 6th place position. Oh, a massive aggressive side draft there. That was probably a Code Brown moment for the driver of the 39, Derek Wegman, if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, I definitely don't think Wagman thought anybody would be there that quick, as that 8 machine of Tarrant Hill is moving pretty quickly on that bottom side there. But we were talking about Flo being up there basically side by side for second, and now he is 4th on the bottom lane.
Yeah, Flo is 4th on the bottom lane. There you can see Lewis, Michael, Matta. They're starting to get teamed up there. Perhaps they are all going to make a charge towards the front. Ooh, the 8 got a little squirrely there, able to gather it back up. What a save by the driver of the number 8, Josh Terra-Hill. That was some crafty driving there in that Budweiser Chevrolet.
Yeah, it looked like everybody started to kind of shift lanes and figure out where they were going to go, and then all of a sudden everything was back to normal. Everything's good. Flo keeps looking to go to the middle, but nobody's going there with him. I think he's thinking the 6 was going to maybe try and go with him, but he is still hanging out there towards the back of this, or towards the middle of this.
Yeah, it's trying to hang out towards the back of this bottom lane here, but you can see the eye of the storm is brewing right now. Oh, you see a big move there by Matta. That's going to put Flo in the sucker hole. Or Lewis, I'm sorry, is look at this run coming from the bottom towards the front. They got it wound up right now.
It seems like Matta keeps finding just
caution
the right
on the
spot
racetrack.
as we are under caution once again.
Caution with 21 laps to go in this race. Caution out once again on the racetrack. See exactly. Oh, carnage towards the back of that one. Going to go ahead here, and we're just going to back this up. Keep it easy on the replay crew here. Well, that's it if they'll let us back it up. It should. There we go. Well, it almost looks like it's a one and done. You better get it the first time with this replay system here tonight. Because if you miss it good forever. It is long gone, but nonetheless, big accident comes out here towards the back of this piece.
Lilith Peters was involved, and Gary Madu too.
Yeah, Gary Madu, he was really electric up near the front of this field earlier on. If you remember, Mike, I'm sure you do, all the fans watching live. You know, he was putting on a clinic. You know, Lilith Peters was trying to play that methodical hand and just, you know, work this race, you know, kind of like a chess match. And unfortunately, you know, got caught at the right place at the right time. Let's take a look at that number 1 Chevrolet. Not looking too bad. As you can see, oh, look at the damage on the 63 machine, just like you were saying.
Definitely. Those were the drivers involved there. See if we can go back to the live view here from Daytona and get the what happens here. As the looks like the 786 is going to be leading the field at the moment.
Yeah, Peter Shepard there. Going to be up 34 spots.
Maybe. Adam Lowe, maybe? Looks like Adam Lowe's going to be leading them to green. Should be getting the stack back up momentarily. 20 laps to go.
Yeah, like a Friday night old school shootout, Mike. 20 laps to go in this one. Lights still on the pace car. Let's see if indeed they do go out this time by. And they do. That means, as you mentioned, we're going to re-rack them, restack them, repack the lighting, reload the shell, get these boys and girls ready to fire off for 19 laps. Am I seeing some damage on the front of that 58? I think I am. Let's go ahead and change the camera angles here. Yeah, I think I am seeing some damage to the front of that Ford Mustang.
Yeah, it might be a little bit just from pushing and moving guys around the track, but Adam Lowe will have the button here. So he has a 39 of Derek Wagman behind him, and the 3 of Ollie Marston in that high side. The low lane is guys that are pretty familiar with each other, and Brandon Murray, Zach Roethlisberger, and Eric Schaus. So we'll see if which line works the best together here.
You know, you mentioned lines, Mike, and those lines really, you know, it all comes about teamwork and, well, not necessarily, you know, teamwork. I mean, if you have a teammate behind you or in front of you, even better. But just strategy, you know, making deals on the racetrack, the spotters on top of the tower, you know, that spotter tower, cutting deals. Who's going to go with who? Because right now, especially on a restart, you're going to want to have a friend. You're going to want to have a plan to execute. And if you're at the front, you want to stay at the front. If you're a couple spots back, you know, for example, where, you know, Eric Schultz is in the 38, Josh Terrett Hill, or even Michael Manna, you're going to want to have a plan to get to the front, because these laps are going to fly by as we come out of the turns 3 and 4 complex, looking for that pace car to pull off one more time.
Yeah, definitely you're going to want to have a plan. I mean, 19 laps to go. Adam Lowe with the button gets to that Geico restart zone, wastes little time, and we are back underway here. I think they're still pretty much side by side. Nobody really got a good jump there as they were side drafting each other like crazy.
Oh, somebody just got a piece of the wall. I believe that was Josh Terrett Hill, perhaps in the 8 on the high side.
I don't know if it was Terrett Hill or Ollie Marston, but one of them almost turned straight into that outside wall. Terrett Hill goes to the middle. We'll see if he has any get any positions here. Usually when you see a guy in the middle, they're going backwards, but looks like he slid up and got out of the middle pretty quickly here.
Yeah, I think that may have been a move there, perhaps, to get to the front of Michael Matta in that 16, perhaps. As you can see, the 3, the 8, and the 16 now all together single file on the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. In fact, now the front 4, front 5 are now single file, as I believe that's perhaps Zach Roethlisberger there on the bottom. It is working with Brandon Murray once again on the low line.
Yeah, those guys have been hooked up for most of the race. They're trying to work together. Here's a 38. Gives a huge shot in the back end of that 93 to try and send him towards the front here and get that bottom line moving.
Oh, and it did. You can see him now clawing, churning towards the front. Driver of the 93 probably saying, hey, 38, dial some more of that magic up. Let's get going here. And they are rolling, but they got to stay hooked up really nice and tight. They kind of break away a little bit there as the 38 falls back. That should help that high side line re-prevail once again and rekindle that momentum it lost. Is the 58 and the 39 checking out just a little bit, but once again, here comes that bottom line once again.
Yeah, you can see when that bottom line gets hooked up, even 2 or 3 cars, but when it's hooked up and they are tight together, they make a lot more time than that high side. That high side, right now they have 3, maybe 4 cars that are really steadily hooked up, but that bottom line just keeps moving, even if there's just those 2 guys hooked up at the bottom.
Yeah, it almost seems like the top line is more forgiving if you do get, if you don't, or he's trying to say this a different way. If you don't stay firmly, nose to tail, laser straight, if you will, it's more forgiving. You don't seem to lose as much momentum. Where on the bottom, as you see what's happening right now, the minute you get out of shape just a little bit or offset, you seem to just fall back like a rock.
Yeah, definitely. And you see Mike Peters fourth in the bottom lane, trying to figure out what way they're going to go and try and help and give him a push, but nothing seems to be doing it. And just to his outside is Todd Merkel and Justin Lewis. So heavy hitters stuck in the middle of the pack right now.
Probably not where Todd Merkel wants to be. Some may say that's the eye of the storm, where we could see another big one kick off. Oh, we got someone going up the middle 3 wide. Believe
Looks
that's
like the 43 of Ryan Farrell.
Yeah, Farrell there going. Oh, did you see that, Mike? He almost sent the 52 for a ride. Oh, and we got a 3-way crunch fest at the front of this one. Oh, they're still wrecking. Here's the big one.
Around.
They're still beating on each other. They're still bashing each other. Multiple cars in it, Mike, and this is the big one we always talk about that can happen at Daytona or Talladega.
Definitely. Click on Mike Peters, and then click the where it says yellow flag.
All right, let's try that. Mike Peters, driver of the 95. And let's try this again. There's so much populating in that field there. It's like a constant scroll waterfall over there. Maybe that's not right, Mike, but wasn't like that last week. But perhaps it's something maybe with the additional higher car counts that's perhaps giving it a problem that we can look at. Just going to take it back live.
Looks like Adam Lowe's still up front right now.
Yeah, and that he certainly is in that number 58. Doing a great job keeping it up front, working with Wegman. Ollie having a heck of a run here, the newcomer rookie this season. Showing he can get it done here at the high banks of Daytona. Look at Michael Matta, Justin Lewis, they're climbing back into the picture as well, as they currently own that 4th and 5th place position with just 12 laps to go.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of carnage up towards the front, and then looked like when they were trying to avoid it, Steven Johnson almost just was trying to avoid cars in front of him and turned down and got turned himself there. So 12 laps to go, probably get somewhere in the neighborhood of, I'm going to say, 9 by the time we go back green.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Mike, about 9 laps once we get back to green flag racing. You know, will we get to a natural finish here, or are we going to have to pull out the overtime rules? That's yet to be seen. Lilith Peters trying to mount a comeback here. You see her being scored in that 13th place position. Got a bunch of, manufacturer support right there with her. As you can see, her teammate just in front of her there. Rodney Uberpacker out there on the racetrack as well. Justin Horton in the 64. Lilith Peters is going to probably try and want to hook up with him and see if they can get towards the front here. Justin Horton having a quiet race as he sits in that ninth spot, up 15 positions from where he started.
Yeah, definitely. They'll get ready to roll here, and we'll see if they get ready to get this 10-lap shootout. See what happens here momentarily. These guys looking for. I mean, if you thought the last 90 laps were full of fun and excitement, wait till the end here when we get inside this final 10.
Yeah, we could have 4 wide at the line with a pass in the grass for the win here. We've seen that time and time again. It could very well happen here again this evening. So strap, buckle yourself in. Make sure your grandma's tight. Got plenty of popcorn, kernel-free popcorn, ready to rock and roll here for the finish of this one as the SCL looks to put race number 1 of a brand new season in the history books. But we still got 10 green flag laps of action until this one's all said and done. Adam Lowe gonna have the trigger once we get back to green flag action. And Mike, you can already see the 3 of Ollie getting hooked up all over on the back of that 39 of Wagman on the bottom.
Yeah, you can see how they're also trying to get a little bit closer to get that side draft here, because Adam Lowe is going to take this restart here momentarily. As they get to the restart zone, he's down and away, and he has a pretty good pusher behind him in Michael Matta.
Yeah, that 16's been good as a pusher or as a receiver, being the guy out the point car out in front. As you can see, the 16 and the 58 working together. And now they get another strong car in Roethlisberger on the top shelf as well. Oh, that was almost a side draft gone wrong. I don't know how Ollie saved that. That was a masterful job. And look at how that stacked up the bottom. Oh, my God.
Yeah, Wagman trying to get a little side draft in there and just touched.
Mike, they could have slapped hands at over 150 miles an hour there. That was probably a little more side draft that he wanted to give.
Definitely. And we're going to have some big-time racing here as we have 9 laps to go. Lewis in the bottom lane has Wagman giving him a push. You got the 62 of Isaac Love back there as well. But that outside lane is hooked up, and they are moving pretty well with Adam Lowe.
52
Michael
got to the
Matta,
wall.
Zach Roethlisberger.
Sorry to cut you off there, Mike, but Chris Melton almost melted the wall down there as he gave it a good cheese grater and able to keep it off the cars on the inside, gets it to that high, gets it to the top of the fishbowl there, able to get out of the way. It's going to almost take it to the back. That stinks from a position standpoint. But great job there by Chris Melton, not setting off another massive wreck. Ooh.
Yeah, definitely. He probably made quite a few friends.
There they go.
Justin Horton went off track and came right back on track and turned Lilith Peters.
Yeah, and those are teammates, and I don't think it was supposed to go down like that. Yeah, Justin Horton came right down the racetrack. Actually got nudged down the racetrack, Mike, and then came right back up and got into Lilith Peters there. Unfortunately, you know, his teammate not seeing too much damage there on the one of Lilith Peters. Let's see and take a look at Justin Horton's race car in the 64.
They're going to try and jump through as quick as they can to get back to green flag racing momentarily. Looks like Horton was disqualified after that move there.
Yeah, big turn of events here for Justin Horton. Gets disqualified. And it looked like he had some help, Mike, getting looked to me like in real time it was a push gone wrong for Horton. And he got pushed down the racetrack, got onto the flat, and as he came back onto the racetrack, that's really where that fuse was lit and set off that sequence of events.
Definitely. See what's happening here.
Got the 064 coming back around, getting the lucky dog, or 63 of Gary Madu. He's still in this one now. He's going to get back around. Check out the fangs on the front of that Ford Mustang. I think he's thirsty. Almost looks like a vampire on the front of that car.
Yeah, that Kiss machine is definitely sporting a good paint scheme there.
Yeah, definitely a fan of it. Is Adam Lowe, you know, doing a great job of keeping the lead, you know, against a great group of competitors. So, Mike, you're going to have 6 laps left to go. But once we get back to green flag action here, once again,
Yeah, we'll see what happens here.
I thought maybe that little indentation on the front clip of Adam Lowe's race car may affect him a little bit on these restarts, hold him back just a little bit. I don't know if it's not affecting his race car or if he's just that good at working the draft and knowing where to go with the runs and, you know, where the energy is, that it's, you know, not affecting that Ford Mustang. But he's doing a great job executing restart after restart here. He's probably scratching his head and wondering how many of these restarts I got to win to go out there and get the W to kick this thing off.
Well, this time here, he takes the bottom lane. He took the high side the last couple. We'll see if that's going to help him, as he does have Justin Lewis and Michael Matta behind him. So he might have looked and tried to see who was going to be where and then decide where he was going to be. So we'll see if the 58 Ford of Adam Lowe can beat the Chevys that have basically surrounded him here.
Yeah, he's in the Chevy sandwich right now, as Tony would say. He's the salami in the middle. You know, hopefully he don't get escorted out of the bun here. But Adam Lowe in that in that Ford Fusion. Check that out, little old school throwback on the next gen. Well, he's cruising in the Fusion. He's got the right, he's the man with the plan so far. But you're right, he's in a sea of hungry Chevrolet bow ties. Let's see if he can continue to fend him off here as these lights out on the pace car once again.
4 laps to go. These guys will be hard on that loud pedal there, trying to get every position they can before this race is over. Low wastes no time, down and away, and he is out to almost a car length over Justin Lewis there. The 93 of Zach Roethlisberger is hooked up pretty well with Ollie Marston as Lowe jumps up to the high side and going to try and take that draft really quick.
Yeah, Lowe is there. Just like you said, Mike, right on cue. Lowe jumps up to the high side of the racetrack. He is going to take that draft away. Gets a great push back out to the front. And now he's got to manage the lines. And he's going to come down to the bottom and pick up the 7 now of his buddy Justin Lewis as they are hooked up nose to tail on the bottom. That bottom side, they got the momentum right now. But remember what happens, Mike. They get just a little bit out of shape on the bottom. They just seem to lose momentum rapidly. Oh, look at the push on the top shelf. I believe that was Isaac Love, a rookie, all over the back of Roethlisberger there, giving him the business, but he's sticking with him. And that's Ollie Mostron coming to the front. Big push on the 93.
Ollie's all over the back of that 93. We'll see if he can keep it square there. Justin Lewis and Lowe are hooked up pretty well. The 38 of Eric Schaus also working that high side, and it looks like Brandon Murray is as well.
Yeah, Brandon Murray in that 88 ride, having a great showing here as they come out of the turns. 1 and 2 complex, firing back down the front straightaway here once again through the Geico restart zone. It looks like Roethlisberger is going to lead that lap as he's now out to the point, and he took Ollie Marston right with him in that 3 car. But just as we see that, look who's creeping back into the picture. It's Matta, Lewis, and Lowe on the bottom shelf. Oh, big time problems. Merkel gets snookered and taken to the cleaners as he's going in reverse up against the wall. I think Kyle Busch did that a couple days ago, Mike.
Yeah, I think so. He was racing the rescue truck there in reverse.
Yeah, and Merkel continues to scrape the wall in reverse. You know what? We're just gonna do this old school here. We're just gonna go the old VHS mode. Grab this rewind button, and we're gonna back this up, and we're gonna hit play now. You can see it all starts there on the high side of the racetrack. Everyone gets bunched up there. The 8 gets a big shot in the back from the 6, and then the 43 just busts a move all over the back of Merkel's race car. You can see the damage to the front of Merkel's nose that's pretty impressive. I haven't seen someone ride the wall at Daytona in reverse like that in quite some time. But nonetheless, not what Todd Merkel was looking for there. As we go back live now. 3 laps
definitely
to...
not.
Go ahead.
Definitely not what he wanted to see here. And I'm going to say we're probably not going to get to this this green-white checker here. They do only have 1 available here in SCL competition.
Yep, that's it. Some leagues offer 3, Mike. These guys, they give you 1 more opportunity. If you can't get it done under green, they'll give you 1 opportunity at overtime. But guess what? They did a quickie yellow, lights out on the pace car. We got them re-racked, restacked. Pull those belts tight 1 more time. Make sure Grandma's ready to go. She's got plenty plenty of crunk in her cup because it's about to get rowdy for this shootout to the end here at Daytona. You got the rookie, the new boy, the new kid on the block on the bottom, Ollie Marston, trying to, really set off his season with a big bang here if he can punch his ticket and get it done. You got Zach Roethlisberger on the high side, 2 Chevrolets on the front row. Then you got the Fords of Adam Lowe in the 58, and then you got Eric Schals. Justin Lewis back there as well. Any of these drivers inside the top 10 can win this thing. It's all going to be who gets the right momentum at the right time and do the Red Seas part, or Mike is in a 4-wide Waffle House situation at the end of this thing. We're about to find out, as it all comes down to this live right here on SRM.
Got 3 laps to go. It's all about who's going to take the chance. I mean, if it was me, don't know that I'd want to be on the front row.
I'm not sure I want to be on that front row either, but Zach's going to have the button here. He's going to go hard in the Garco restart zone. An outside line prevails there on the restart. He gets a great jump on the top side. Look at Lowe somehow fish and hook his claws way to the top shelf there. Now he's going to throw a really hard side draft here on that number 3 ride. Roethlisberger continues to lead.
Yeah, Roethlisberger trying to manage the lines, get hooked up either way. Lowe has just enough room, slides down. Roethlisberger's trying to block him, but to his high side, here comes Justin Lewis. Lewis is blocking Brandon Murray pretty hard. 38 gets turned, 93 gets turned, and everybody is around.
Kaboom!
Isaac Love gets through. Let's see if Isaac Love's going to make it back here. Dynamite just struck.
Dynamite strike, and we're seeing checkered flag. That means Isaac Love is going to come up and steal one at Daytona. Is mayhem breaks loose on the final lap. That's why we always say, Mike, if you start it at Daytona, you're in it to win it. Congratulations, Isaac Love, the rookie, gets the win at Daytona. As I am seeing checkered flag being displayed here, let's go ahead and take a look at what happened here. If this, please work with me. Please, I just want one replay to go right. Let's try this one more time. And do not pass go. Do not collect $200. But how about it? The rookie. And we've seen this before at Daytona. Remember going back to 2010? The driver for the Wood Brothers gets it done. Trevor Bayne, and another rookie here in the SCL Cup Series, Isaac Love, wins at Daytona. Austin Call comes in second, and Jonathan Gasper in the 6th comes home third. What do you say we talk to some of our drivers here and our winners that put on a show here, Mike?
Yep.
Gonna
Who do
go.
you want to?
Doing a little bit of a burnout. I almost feel bad interrupted him, but you know what?
We can go 3, 2, 1.
You got it, boss. And coming home with your 3rd place driver, let's pull him up in the booth here. Jonathan, Matt, and Mike up in the booth. You got us, bud.
I got you loud and clear.
Man, talk to me about that last lap of the race. That was absolutely wild. Was it biblical proportion, the parting of the Red Seas, and you were able to find a way through there?
Yeah, that was insane. I sat back. I still had damage from getting clipped in the right rear earlier. Even with the fast repair, I wasn't up to speed, so I was just hoping for something like that. Coming through all the cars, I was just bobbing through and just kind of hoping nobody clipped me wrong. And as the smoke parted, I was behind 2 cars, so that was just exciting.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the best things about plate racing, right? When you're sitting there and you're coming to the checkered flag and you're not possibly going to have the finish that you hope for, and then just this epic biblical proportion event kicks off in front of you, and like you said, the seas parted, the smoke cleared, and there was only 2 cars in front of you, and you come home and kick off a brand new season with a strong podium finish. It can't get much better than that.
Yeah, I was just sitting back after having such a good strong part, staying clean. Just that wasn't the finish or the mood. I was just kind of sitting back, and to come out third out of that, new season, new number, new manufacturer with the car, new scheme, all of it. I think Bruno Latour, he's not out here tonight for the scheme tonight, but that definitely a good way to start my second season with these guys.
A well set, and sometimes a little bit of a refresh, like you said, new paint scheme, new vinyl wrap on the car, new number, and you come out of Daytona with a very strong finish. Before we cut you loose, let you go celebrate, who do you want to thank who helps you get it done?
Obviously all the guys that put this on, Adam, Mike, Josh, just the new race control guy tonight, Matt. They all do amazing week in and week out. They put together some good ground rules for everybody. They enforce them pretty good, and they get things done the right way.
Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen, comes home third, new ride, new look, and it comes through for a great third place finish. That's Jonathan Kaysberg, driver of the number 6 Ford Mustang. Gonna put him back down in the waiting room, and Mike DeMoney, you're gonna have second place. Austin Call with you up in the booth.
Hey, Austin, man, how is it going?
I am shocked right now, but I'll take second.
Yeah, definitely. You guys had a little bit of, I don't know, controversy or what have you coming to the end there, but you guys able to take that green flag and you were able to capitalize and get a P2 here.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that there was a countdown coming down, and whenever we went around for that one yellow lap, I was like, we're gonna get this one lap in, because it hasn't shown us the white flag yet. So, and we ended up getting that white flag, and I mean, I just kind of drove through everybody, and it worked.
Yeah, definitely. It looked like almost like a Days of Thunder moment there, as everybody was crashing around you, and you just were able to see your way through the daylight, and only had one car in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Matta, he kind of turned into me. I don't really know what he was doing, but kind of thank him for it, because he slowed me up enough to where I was able to react to everybody wrecking around me, and it slowed me up a bit too much to where I wasn't able to get around Isaac. But honestly, I'll take a second with how crappy this day was.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats on your P2. Anybody you want to thank before we get you out of here?
Obviously, I gotta thank my teammates, even though I barely saw them all race. We got Eric Schaus, Trevor Dalton, Maxwell Caldwell, Tom Merkel, and Justin Lewis. They're always a big help when it comes to these races, especially with strategy and that type of thing. Even when you never see them all race. I gotta thank my family for letting me do these races, because I'm racing 5 nights a week at the moment, so it's not always available for dinner. And I gotta thank my grandma, who is currently watching in another room in my house right now. She just got in last week, so gotta thank her for watching all these races.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats again on your P2 finish.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's a great job there. Austin Call with us in the booth, comes home second, but nothing could probably prepare us for what Isaac Love saw out his front windshield on the last lap. And Mike, I'm going to play off your cue. He's got Exxon on the race car. It's Daytona. It feels like Days of Thunder. It looks like Days of Thunder. And Isaac Love, congratulations, man. Did it feel like you were in Days of Thunder out there on the racetrack coming to the checkered flag?
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't feel too confident about restrictor plate racing, but I feel like tonight we were able to keep a car in one piece and had a lot of luck go our way.
I mean, Mike and I are up here in the booth, and we've seen a few of these finishes, at these plate tracks. But that one there was absolutely wild. Did that wreck kick off, behind you? Were you in front of it? Did you have to drive through that? I mean, walk us through your last, your last 1 mile around this racetrack, because that had to be one for the record books from your position.
Yeah, I definitely felt like something was about to happen. So once I saw them wrecking in front of me, I kind of just threw it wide open all the way to the checkered, and really that's all she wrote.
Yeah, and that's all you need at Daytona. Sometimes you just gotta be the magic man, to have everything go your way. And I see you have the rookie designation. I thought I saw your name perhaps in the series last year. Don't know if that needs to be updated, or if indeed, you're a brand new rookie in the series and opening things off with a win at Daytona. Man, either way, congratulations. I'm happy for you. We're pumped up here in the booth. What a finish. Who do you want to thank? Who helps you get it done on that 62 before we let you go burn the house down some more and celebrate with your friends?
I just got to thank Sunday Cup League and my team, Adam, Josh, and Barrett. And I'm just glad we come here and have a good race. And I look forward to tomorrow.
Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen, out of a biblical scene from the Bible. The Red Seas parted, and the 62 was the fastest man across the finish line when the smoke cleared. Isaac Love gets your win from Daytona. We appreciate you joining us here up in the booth. And Mike DeMoney, that was everything we thought it would be, and then some, as it got really hot and spicy at the end.
Yeah, definitely. We knew it was going to get there towards the end. We didn't realize how spicy it was going to get. I mean, they were running up against time and everything else, but still got a heck of a finish. 3 cars were able to make it through the that last race, or last incident on the racetrack, and that'll be basically a bow on this opening race here.
Yeah, and what a bow it is that was certainly one for the Guinness books. But Mike, we got to run through these final results here from Daytona.
Hit feature.
And yeah, that's not right. That looks like qualifying results there to me. There we go. Let's get it right. Your winner tonight, we spoke to the top 3. Isaac Love, the rookie, getting the dub at Daytona. Austin Call, can't believe how we got there. Thanks, Michael Matta, for a little contact propelling him to that second place finish. And Jonathan Casper, similar story. He runs out the top 3. Michael Matta comes home 4th, running out your top 5. Bad Chad Jones in the 75. 6 is Mark Brown coming home in 7th. Gary Maydew. Matthew McKean in that 8th place position. 9th, Mark Bolton, not Michael Bolton. 10th, Ollie Marston comes home 10th. 11th belongs to Brandon. Justin Lewis comes home 12th. 13th, Eric Schultz. Chris Melton 13th. And rounding out the first half of the field in 15, Zach Roethlisberger. Mike?
Yeah, definitely. Then you go back to Josh Terrett Hill in 16th, Derek Wagman and Todd Merkel 17th and 18th. We have Nick Johnson, Sam Swope, Rodney Parker, Adam Lowe, Brandon Murray, Will Simone, Barrett Flo, Lilith Peters, Joshua Yarborough, and Ryan Farrell round out the top 28. 29th is Jeremy Flanagan, Mike Peters, and P30. 31st is Peter Shepard, Brendan Cornier. I think that's right. Trevor Dalton in 33rd, Maxwell Caldwell 34th, Riley Hoots in that 84 started up front but winds up finishing towards the back of the field in 35th. Jacob Hoskins, Ronnie Hurst, and Justin Horton round out the 38.
Yeah, so 38 starters took the green flag, Mike, and it was everything you had thought it would be, and then some. As the big house in Daytona never disappoints, as we watched a rookie take the first win of the season by storm. Well, ladies and gentlemen, like all good things, everything must come to an end, including this broadcast. I'm Mike the Money. He is Mike the Money. I'm Matt Metler. Reminded everybody, as you walk down the road of life, as Tony Trapasso would say, don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody. Apparently, I want to be